Hello everyone. I have been late with this episode because I've been trying to find partners for the development of our products. This is a difficult task. As I mentioned before, it is hard to find professionals who will work with adult products. Apparently, it is also difficult to find media partners to even spread the word that the project exists and needs support. Today, what I thought I would do is show the financial challenges involved with producing a product independently and to provide some alternative projects you might want to help fund that are aligned with our goals. To reiterate, the Eve's Essence project seeks to create realistic pleasure bots with advanced features in a 3-phase process. Phase 1 is replicating the female orifice, as it is pointless to create a pleasure bot that is cold, dry, and difficult to clean. Phase 2 is replicating body motions and positions associated with coitus with a servo-driven robotic body. And Phase 3 is replicating head functions such as oral coitus. You have to understand, the powers that be do not want to fund these kinds of projects. They think it undermines their system of control and their pretense of morality. Thus, it is we who believe these technologies would benefit mankind who have to fund them ourselves. Recall that a $1 trillion industry is built upon dating, grooming, courtship, marriage, divorce, and the general schooling and raising of children. If you consider yourself a MGTOW, red pill, black pill, or part of the manosphere, I implore you to put your money where your mouth is and to help develop solutions to the problems men face. I see no point in complaining about a problem and then taking no steps to fix the problem. Those who are lactose intolerant find alternatives to milk. Those who are diabetic find alternatives to sugar. If relationships have been poisoned and dating is risky, find and fund an alternative. It seems like an obvious course of action. I have one simple question for all of the red pill, black pill, and MGTOW content creators that can act as a litmus test. Do you support the development of sex bots? Yes or no? If no, why not? If no, what exactly are the healthy men with testosterone and therefore high sex drives supposed to do with that energy? Should they go overseas and expose themselves to the same risks and behavior except in a different language under foreign laws? Should they hire a prostitute and expose themselves to the very same risks in addition to sting operations? Should they spend their time watching adult entertainment or going to strip clubs? Should they meditate all day and try really hard not to think about boobies? Should they work out and clean their room? What is your prescription or solution? What are men supposed to do with their sex drives without an outlet? Our answer is simple. Create a risk-free and stimulating outlet for that energy through the development of sex bots. Expenses. I just wanted to share one small aspect of the expenses one faces when trying to develop and commercialize a product. This is just the legal aspect, not printed circuit board fabrication or design or product fabrication or hiring models or packaging or finishing or shipping or testing or marketing or any of the other multitude of functions a company needs to undertake to get a product to market. These are real emails from our Upwork account. Just to be able to handle all of our legal needs, we need at least $8,000, and more likely in the neighborhood of $12,000. This includes handling the paperwork that would allow us to issue stock. The amount I am trying to raise pre-crowdfund is half that, and I'm willing to pay the rest. And as you can see here, even though we are willing to do business, even some lawyers won't deal with us because they object to the adult nature of our product. In this respect, independent product development can be compared to indie game development. Without a fan base willing to support some of the company's efforts, they will fail. I share the following projects in the hopes that even with my small viewership, they can develop a fan base and drive onwards towards success. The following are some projects you may find of interest, with all the relevant links in the description. Nandroid Emmy Project. These developers are trying to develop bots for domestic service and companionship purposes, loosely based on the fictional Emmy robot. I mention them here because they are generally aligned with a shared vision, that robots can be made to offer human companionship and fulfill social functions. The developer has demonstrated his ability to make a mock-up of his vision. Lilium Robotics. Next is a great company from our neighbors to the north. Lilium Robotics has made significant progress in developing a body simulator and advanced head design. If we could somehow collaborate, we would be extremely close to realizing a fully functioning sex bot with all of the features the Eve's Essence project envisions. I am actively trying to partner with them to create a prototype robot skeleton with an integrated vSim. They are also trying to raise funds, another indication that when it comes to these types of projects, capital is scarce. If nothing else, their prototype proves what I have been saying for some time. The technology is here, right now, and simply needs to be applied to the industry of adult novelties. I was blown away at their progress and immediately donated, and I was taken aback that I was the very first donation. Can you imagine spending all the time, energy, resources, and applying all the expertise to create a robot cat girl, and none of the weebs show up to support your project? All of the men who swear they want waifus and create and argue about waifu tier lists and have waifu pillows and anime figurines and spend hundreds on streamers and action figures and manga completely ignore the idea of being able to actually custom design a 3D anime girl sex bot. Here is a chance to have their waifu serve them in real life in front of their eyes, and it is ignored. This does not compute. There are women out here on Twitch and YouTube making six figures for whispering into microphones. There are men making MGTOW and Red Pill content that are promoting VPNs, mobile games, and other weird services who refuse to even mention these projects, even when offered cash. I donated the first $50 to Lilium Robotics to lead by example. I can't imagine the mindset of a man who is presumably so lonely that they would donate money to random women on camera just to hear their voices, and then refuse to donate money to men who would create for them essentially a custom woman who could be their permanent companion. How the hell do I tap into these audiences? You know, there are some men out there who have spent more than the sum of what both our projects are trying to raise on one tip for one ethot. It is unbelievable. If you have ever donated even once to a cam girl, you should be pouring hundreds of dollars into these projects. In addition to this, it is a mystery to me how so many obvious scams on fundraising sites get funded. Meanwhile, Lilium Robotics and the Eve's Essence project both have working prototypes, demonstrated functionality, detailed explanations of how they work, progress videos, and plans for how to develop further, and we literally cannot raise $1. There has to be something I am missing when it comes to tapping into different marketing audiences. Next, of course, I'm just going to plug my own project, the Eve's Essence project. It is currently in testing, refinement, and prototyping for Phase 1, and in the design phase for Phase 2. Our design for the body simulator works similarly to the prototype seen in the Lilium Robotics section. Our Phase 1 product, the V Simulator, has been demonstrated, and we need a manufacturing partner to share with us their silicone molds so that we can put our frame inside of the mold and test the product as it would be used by the end user. Obviously, since this is our channel, there's a lot more information in our other videos. Factorial Omega, my dystopian robot girlfriend. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if we had pleasure bots right now? This game gives you a preview of the types of things you could do with one, and an idea of how satisfying it would be to have all your needs met by a reliable, loyal, robotic robot partner. Play this game, which is adult only, for an hour or so, and you will see why we are striving so hard to make this technology a reality. Imagine having something similar at home with you right now, and think about whether or not all of the nonsense going on in the news, law, or politics would bother you. Also note, a pleasure bot does not necessarily have to perfectly mimic real human characteristics to satisfy its primary function. It can be made to look like any female form you can imagine. We live in a timeline where we have drag queens twerking in front of children, but I can't link to an adult game, so you have to Google the phrase in the description. Finally, I want to shout out Raging Golden Eagle's 6 Fox Studios. He is a MGTOW who started his own company and produces products targeted at that demographic. As far as I know, he is one of the few, if not the only MGTOW who has collected money for a product, developed it, and actually delivered it. His product, the Blade Devil comic book series, is also aligned with the adult industry, and I think he himself is in favor of the general development of these products. As I find these projects, I will share them in the hope that in the near future, as we all strive for a similar goal, some sort of synergy can take place that allows us to rapidly advance toward these goals well within our time. And all of the projects I just shouted out, I don't have anything to do with them. They haven't paid me. I just found them on the internet when doing research. Again, we don't have to wait a decade or more for these things to come online. With the proper community support from men who claim to want these products, we would be able to develop a very functional and refined sex bot in a minimum of 24 months. These projects only have to be successful once in your lifetime, and for the rest of your life you can select a robot waifu that looks like any girl on the planet, or in fiction, you can imagine, and does whatever you want, whenever you want, and the technology will only get better from there. Thank you for your time, and please consider contributing to one or more of these projects.